We are not here to scare you. We are just trying to tell you what you just need to make sure you do so that your trip to Leh is a very, very memorable one.
Core memories, always. Like, Leh is transformational in every
19
way.
times I've been there. I've been to Leh 19 times. I have never flown. So I don't know what Leh airport looks like. So I'm sorry. सांस लेने में problem होगा नहीं है उधर. There's no oxygen there. You have to be very, very careful. And this bugger just flew. I mean, that car just took off. And I said, who is this? Beep, beep, beep. Driving like a madman.
Part of your kit, part of your preparation, you need to have a blood oxygen monitor, a finger strap or a...
Fantastic, yes. Does Google Map work there?
It does. So...
do you have network enough to have Google Maps?
Largely, yes. But
even on More planes and
yeah.
Pang and all those
places. Are there vehicles that you should go to Leh in? And are there vehicles that you should not go to Leh?
No. Nowadays, there's nothing.
Yeah?
No, there's nothing like that. We went to Leh in a Tata Nano.
Okay.
You remember that
time?
There was no roads. More planes had no roads.
Yeah.
We were flying across dirt in a Tata Nano.
As a traveler to Leh, would you recommend taking the Atal Tunnel?
Yes.
I would.
Leh में
अच्छा ले तो पहुंचे पहले
तो ले तक तो पहुंच ही जाएगा ना तू ले तक तो पहुंच ही जाएगा उसके बाद तू जब पैंगोंग जाएगा 3 इडियट का शूट करने है या तू कहीं नुब्रा वैली हान ले जाएगा तारे देखने तो उस समय तेरे को लगेगा ना नेटवर्क वहां पर तो लोकल कनेक्शन इज बेटर
सो यू नो व्हाई इट्स डिफिकल्ट टू गेट अ लोकल कनेक्शन देयर
नो
so it's difficult to get a local connection there because mandatory if you have to get a connection there you have to have a local address because it is a military secure zone.
Oh, नहीं यार ये तो मुझे पता नहीं था. I didn't know that. Hello and welcome to Connecting Rod, the place where we talk about anything to do with automotive stuff. And this time round, we are going to talk about something very interesting. It's summer again, and it's time to get laid. And who better to start up with than my colleague Dipayan Datta. So Didi, first let's start with the basic fact of how to prepare yourself for a Ladakh trip, whether be it on a motorcycle or in a car.
So I think now that the roads have opened up and we have so many easy access roads to Leh, I think a lot has changed. It means that you can be a lot less prepared and get to a place where you require to be very, very prepared. And that is something that we really don't think about before we plan these trips. And I keep saying that you need to be severely physically fit. If you are not, you are probably going to find yourself in a place where getting out is very difficult. Now, these places are some of the most remote regions on earth. You can be hours, even in today's day and age, without seeing a single person, one turn off the wrong road, and you could be somewhere for days, let alone a natural disaster like a landslide or rain or a road washing away, or even military movement can halt you for several hours at a time. So I think number one, you have to be physically and mentally prepared for the journey that you're getting in for. That means doing a lot of cardio in preparation, doing additional weights, ensuring that you are at some point of physical fitness to endure what you're going to endure. Because again, something I think that we take lightly a lot is rarefied air.
I was just getting there. So, this is for a lot of people who have never been to Leh, right? So let's start by giving a few basic things like what we are talking about. What Didi is basically talking about is acclimatization. And that is the first and foremost thing which you should be careful about, I think, in my personal opinion. So if you're driving up to Leh, like
it's
a lot of people...
better.
So, if you're driving up to Leh, it is a much better thing because of the simple fact that as you cross, like whether you go from the Manali side or whether you go from Srinagar side, you
the
are
altitude,
climbing, you're not rapidly climbing. Like if you take a flight from Delhi in 40 minutes, you are from what? 3,000, 4,000 feet to some 14,000 feet. So, the moment you step out of the airplane, I mean, let me tell you that also because a lot of people ship their bikes to Leh and cars to Leh and they fly in, right? So, when you are... Well, that's sometimes things happen. But what we need to basically say is that even if you are in a plane and you're stepping out of the plane, do everything in slow motion. Like don't try to hurry. Like the normal tendency plane में क्या होता है कि जैसे ही plane उतरा सब खड़े हो गए, right? वो सब मत करो, better रहो. Just when the doors open, you come out of the plane, you take those stairs. Leh is still an old airport. It's not all the time you will get a, those
There are no aero bridges.
aero bridges and all that. I don't know. I've been to Leh 19 times. I have never flown, so I don't know what Leh airport looks like. So I'm sorry, but do that in slow motion. Don't go rapidly down the stairs. सांस लेने में प्रॉब्लम होगा नहीं है उधर. There is no oxygen there. You have to be very very careful. So that is the first thing. If you are driving up, it is a much better situation. Why? Because you will take a break, right? If you start from Delhi.
No, if you're driving up, I think what happens is because you are going through the altitude gradually.
Correct.
Your body is also adapting to it
But you have
as you
48
go.
hours to do it, Didi, as
That's what
compared
I'm
to 45 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. In a plane, you don't. You're in a compression chamber.
Right.
The compression is released, and your body immediately
Absolutely.
goes
It's
into...
like a wall. It's like hitting a wall, So don't do that. If you're in a car, you will at least take, or a bike, you will at least take 48 hours to get to Leh from Delhi.
48 hours.
Yeah, because nowadays you can, because of the Atal tunnel, you can just cross over and get to Jispa, which you told me, and I learnt, there was a time when the general tendency of our
When was the
trips,
first time you went to Leh?
2005.
On
2005 August.
In what?
We had a Mercedes ML. We had a
People in the lap of luxury.
Land Cruiser Prado with ball tires. We had a CRV, and we had a Grand Vitara. Not the Grand Vitara which you know now, the genuine V6 Grand Vitara.
This is the V6 or the 2.5?
V6. We had a V6.
What? How much did you spend on fuel?
Well, wait, 1 minute. Let me tell you that story also. We had the Prado. Hello, you are talking about a Grand Vitara. I am not talking Grand Vitara. I am talking Prado.
Yeah.
We drove from Pune. Yeah. I was in overdrive at that point of time. Yeah. That was my first trip to Leh. And I still remember one, very interesting thing which happened. So the Prado was guzzling fuel, petrol, whatever. And we stopped at this fuel pump and the guy started filling it up. And we were just there. It's like a humongous tank. And one of our colleagues,
I think 100-liter tank?
90 liters or something like that. And the petrol just kept going, And that guy was like scratching his head. How much will it take? And, Sirish, now editor of Evo, he was there with me. And the guy who was filling it up asked Sirish, कहाँ जा रहे हैं? So Sirish says, I said, Delhi जा रहे हैं. So whatever. Thankfully he did not say Leh or something. He said, Delhi जा रहे हैं. And he's like, गाड़ी का mileage कितना है? So Sirish very sheepishly said, 4-5 दे देती है. And the petrol pump attendant freaked out. And, he did a very weird gesture and he told Sirish, लगता है business अच्छा चल रहा है. I mean, it was like that. I mean, how do you make him understand that, we are on job and this is what our job is? But yeah, coming back to getting to Leh. So nowadays, thanks to the Atal tunnel, you will get to Jispa in a day from Delhi. And that was something which was a dream for us because we used to take one full day to get from Manali to Jispa via the Rohtang tunnel.
Did you know that there was one time when you and I drove from Leh to Manali together?
You were in a Creta and you blasted past me and I abused you for that also. You were not working for us at that point of time. And I remember it was a Great India Drive when the Creta was launched and, we were going to Pangong and because of landslides and all that.
Yeah, so that's what I was getting to.
We were coming back to Sarchu. Just before Sarchu, you overtook me and this bugger just flew. I mean, that car just took off. And I said, who is this? Beep, beep, beep. Driving like a madman. But
another story that involves Sirish.
we will get to that. We will get to that. But yeah, coming back to the main thing. So acclimatization is the most important thing. And let me tell you, I am not a doctor by any margin. But once you start climbing, there's a concoction which works very well, which is Diamox and Disprin. And
wait, both?
Yes. So you have a Diamox in the morning and you have a Disprin after some time.
So
They are blood thinners.
essentially, yeah, that's the whole point. I think.
But guys,
Why the combination?
the combination is because when oxygen deteriorates inside, like your lack of oxygen, you start getting a headache. Blood thinners help in passing around.
Oxygenating.
Yeah, so it's a combination, and I have been having that for a long time now. And out of the entire 19 times I have went, I have been very lucky that I have never had AMS.
But you've been popping Diamox and Disprin.
Yes, I have. Especially once I have gone past Leh. Not till Leh, but say from
Further
Leh
up.
to Nubra, or we are going to Hanle, Fotila we went to. So all those places, yes, I did. Just as a safety protocol. And of course, I was not running around. I was not, anything. It was a very patient life. Even if you had to turn the car around, like for shoots, we need to do that,
Okay.
right? So
Let's also, now that you mention it, let's talk about age groups. I mean, do you think that there's an age group where you are immune to it all? There is an age group when you need to start taking more caution. There is an age group where extreme caution is required. Is that something that you think, or does it
depend. No.
Sickly? Okay.
See, the older you get, the chances are higher. But that does not guarantee that you will not be, you will get AMS or not get AMS. AMS is all about how you prepare yourself, like I am saying. Like do things in a sane, calculated manner. Right? You are not from there. People who are there, you will see people running around, locals. But you can't. You are a city dweller. You cannot do that. And there is no guarantee. Like, I am no Superman. That 19 times I have gone and I have never had a, AMS attack. But that does not mean the 20th time I go, I will not have a AMS.
correct?
So, it's how you deal with the situation. Perhaps I have done something right in all these days that I have not had AMS. And the one thing which you need to carry,
I don't think we should say that. I think we should say that we've just been lucky.
we've just been lucky. Yes, absolutely. It's
Because
you never
there
know
is
when it
not
will help.
much you can
No,
do, right?
there is nothing you can do. You just follow certain rules and regulation and cross your fingers. It's as simple as that. And if you do get AMS, which you will realize, which people I have traveled with have got AMS while in my presence, and the first sign is a buzz in your head. It's a very light buzz. Do not underestimate that. That means there is a chance that AMS is coming.
So what do you do then?
So calm down even more.
Okay.
Like if you are driving, it is better you give the car to somebody else, or take breaks more frequently, keep the windows down, or if you are inside the car, switch on the AC. I have seen that it works like wonders.
Why is that?
Because inside the car, when the AC is on, it keeps a certain amount of pressure built in.
Okay.
It's a very weird thing I'm talking about. There's no justification of that. I have got nothing. But every time I have seen that, I've rolled up the windows and I have kept the AC going. I have always found it to be better as a overall situation.
So again, we've been we're just so used to this subject. I think we've jumped straight into the deep end. I think let's start by explaining what AMS is.
Okay.
It
Yes, I'm
stands for
sorry. Yes.
acute mountain sickness.
Right.
It is basically a disorder where your blood oxygen drops to such a level that you cannot function. And what happens when your blood oxygen drops is your blood becomes thicker, which means everything that you need to do is that much more difficult. Headaches, dizziness, vomiting, these are all part of the AMS package, and you never know what you're going to get, and that's the worst part. So I think circling back, fitness, cardio. If you have cardiovascular issues, definitely go to a doctor. They have tests in place that they can do now. They do hook you up to a machine and make you run a treadmill to see what your performance of oxygen is under load. There are ways to do it. There are doctors who do it within the NCR. I'm sure most major cities will have.
Across the country, you will get all of this. Yeah, it's not like, and to tackle it, if you see there is a buzz you're getting, coming back to that same point, from Manali, even if you're coming from Srinagar side, so we'll
Oxygen
get to that very shortly on how you can get to Leh. But the thing is that whether you're coming from either way, you get these oxygen cans, not those
Lifesavers.
cylinders. They are like deodorant cans, right?
Lifesavers,
And they
lifesavers.
have these pipes which go in. You can choose whether you want
You
a
can
short
get a
pipe.
mouth guard
you
also,
you
yeah.
get a mouth guard also. Have a couple of them. God forbid you get AMS, you will be fixed in a matter of minutes if
Yeah.
you get that shot. So what you do is you wear that, and you
It
when you
peps you
breathe
up in
in.
general also if you don't use it.
Let's not pep up things right now because we are talking lay and it's better
It's
to be
nice.
safe. So don't take it unless you need it, because press the nozzle, you inhale, and you get that oxygen flow, and within minutes you will feel better,
Yeah.
because you are now getting a steady supply of oxygen. But that is one of the remedies.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a fix.
Hmm.
If the problem persists, my point of view is very simple: go straight to the hospital.
Not
Go
to bed.
No, I mean, if even after taking oxygen you are not feeling better in half an hour to 1
At
hour.
what point do you go to the hospital?
See, when your headache starts in a bad way. Last time I was there, one of our colleagues had it, and he took oxygen, and we said, okay, we will be fine. And the general tendency is, okay, sleep it out. Just go off to sleep, you will be fine. And he couldn't sleep. Basically, he was like turning here and there, and सोया नहीं जा रहा था उससे, उसको नींद नहीं आ रहा था, उसका सर में इतना दर्द हो रहा था. So then one of our the hotel guy, we went, and naturally these guys are experts. So we went and told him that, okay, this is it. He said, listen, let's get him straight to the hospital.
Okay. Just cutting you off for one more second. Part of your kit, part of your preparation, you need to have a blood oxygen monitor, a finger strap,
Fantastic.
or a
Fantastic. Yes.
something worn on your hand. It needs to be more or less accurate. You need to get a sense of where it is. And if you see that number drop under 90, get help immediately.
Absolutely.
Because things are going to go really bad really soon.
Because it happens suddenly. It's like you were just asking, na, ki, at which point you should get to a hospital. My point of view is very simple. You get to a hospital when you think things are getting out of hand.
So another very interesting side effect of AMS is delirium,
Oh, yes.
which is,
I've seen that happen also.
do you remember that they thought I had delirium when I reached Sarchu that night?
I still think that you had.
Yeah, okay. So I
Because
had...
you were not listening.
No, I was... Yeah, I just arrived in shorts because I had a very high cold resistance as a young person, which I no longer have. And the camp manager thought I had severe AMS. I went to sleep. And suddenly in the night, I dreamt I was in hell. And I was literally on fire.
That's
I
exactly what I'm talking about.
Wait. I opened my eyes. And our man, the very faithful camp, owner, had arrived in my tent after I had gone to... It must have been 8:30 in the night, okay? Because there's nothing to do in Sarchu. You go to sleep by 7:30.
Sarchu is just camps. After
We
evening,
ate
there is
Maggie
nothing
and
you
then
can,
we were in bed.
What Maggie? We got Rajma Chawal.
Oh,
I got Rajma Chawal. You got Maggie because
yeah.
Rajma Chawal was
Yeah,
over.
Yeah. So went to bed, on fire. I wake up and I see this guy has come in the night and put 10 hot water bags around
Oh my
me.
God. Okay.
I was on fire, but in his defense, I would have probably done the same. It is not worth having an EMS patient who is in delirium at your camp when you are snowed in.
And in Sarchu.
Yeah.
In Sarchu.
Yeah.
Sarchu is even worse because
Back
there is
then
nothing.
it was
Back
nothing.
then there was
Now
nothing.
it's still like you have... Have you been to... When was the last time you were in Sarchu?
Sarchu, yeah, it's been a while. It's been
I was there last year.
I went till
you
Jispa.
could not recognize it if you drove past it. If you woke up in Sarchu, you would not recognize what it has become.
Really?
It's now quite nice actually. I mean, there are places to stay, there are places to eat. That time there was one camp. But
Well, I could not believe Kilong. Primarily because when we used to go, we used to leave from Manali, and till about 4:30 we used to be on Rohtang. And then it was a race to get to this hotel, which is called Ibex. Why? Because the cabbies are also there. So they had like 10, 15 rooms. So you have to reach before others because that was one hotel, and the other hotel was in Keelong, which is few kilometers back, which was like a dirty, dingy thing at that point of time. And Ibex has some really good food, yeah. I mean, at that point of time when you
Yeah.
get there, you get some really good food, and it's just lovely to sit there with a cup of coffee, enjoying the views outside. It's just fantastic place to be. It's really a dream destination, and we are not here to scare you. We are just trying to tell you what you just need to make sure you do so that your trip to Leh is a very, very memorable one.
Core memories, always. Like, Ray is
Okay.
transformational in every way.
19 times I've been there. 19 or 20. I have lost count. And every time I have gone, I have seen something new. Leh is not a place where you will go and get to see the same thing.
They're getting super excited. Let's
Let's go.
circle
Yes.
back
Okay.
to...
Okay. Yes. Now, first thing.
Okay,
Done.
so we're done with physical prep.
Right.
Okay, mental prep. You need
वो तो
to...
आ जाएगा.
You just need to want it enough. There are times when you will feel like turning the car, bike, whatever around and just going back to Manali, to the safety of Manali. Just stick with it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It has always been worth it.
Yeah.
You will encounter problems. Be prepared for it. You will have a few flat tires. You will... So just
Not
be...
anymore. The roads are fantastic now.
Yes and no. There are some parts which know
but
that,
we'll get to that once we get to the preparing your vehicle section,
Yeah.
which is now.
Yeah.
So, let's start with that. What would you do if you were heading to Leh on your motorcycle or in your car? The first thing, like let's
start with
basic
motorcycle.
checks. Let's do basic checks. You
Get
do
it
the bikes.
serviced.
I'll do the cars.
Get it serviced. I mean, some things apply
But
to everything.
common to both, yes.
Get it serviced. Get everything checked. Spark plugs. Make sure your vehicle is working as perfectly as it can possibly be before you leave the house. That will save you a whole lot of problems in case something goes wrong there. Okay. Now, it used to be that once you were there, there was nothing, there was no service, there was no network, there was no workshops. That has changed over the
Leh
years.
has everything now. Every brand almost.
It's not just Leh, it's not just Manali, it's not just Tandi. It's now you will get something. Okay, you will get a tow truck even somewhere like Pang.
Yes.
Another thing that you should probably know is military outposts
Patsio.
are throughout. And most
No,
of them
Patsio camp is the most helpful.
all of them are
Patsio camp के बाहर डीजल वीजल भी मिलता है. मतलब in case I am saying like just in
everything
case,
you
just in
can
case.
they are extremely helpful. They know what it's like to be in that region. They know how hostile it is, and they're absolutely willing to help out. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Get your vehicle serviced. Carry spares. Carry essential spares. Carry tubes. Carry puncture repair kit. Carry a portable pump if you can.
That is lifesaver.
Carry...
Especially if you have tubeless tire.
Do you still need to carry fuel?
No, not anymore.
I would.
No, I will not. Simply because of the fact that earlier Tandi was the only option.
Now it's Keelong.
Now you get Keelong, you get Tandi, and then there is another pump I hear on the way.
That's Thickse.
So it's not much of a difference.
Still
Unless you are
400
taking...
odd kilometers.
Yeah, so 400 तो हर गाड़ी करता है. मतलब unless you get lost or something, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But where will you get lost now?
No, so one of the last time when I took the AMG, I drove up alone. I met this dude on the way up to Baralachala. This guy had left because, again, I'm talking about that accessibility of that road as a blessing and a curse. Because now you can just be in Keelong like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Which is great. But it also makes you believe that whatever's next will be really easy, which not going to
Don't
be
get
at any level.
No, but did it?
So this guy in his Ignis, his tire was burst. He did not have a spare.
Come on. I mean...
Okay. It's happened. We've heard of cases where 2 tires have gone, right? We've changed the spare and then the next tire is gone.
Yes.
You need to spend the night in sub 20 degree temperatures at Baralachala without fuel to run your AC is
Chances of
Death
your
wish.
survival is near zero.
Most likely you will meet a helpful trucker and make it to the next
Correct.
point.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
If that this was 10:30 in the night. This guy had zero hope of survival. I dropped him to the next point, and I was the only other guy on that hill at that point. So carry fuel.
Okay.
Carry it. Just
Okay.
every plan B that you can have,
Now here, carrying fuel, one more thing.
fuel for yourself.
Of course, that has to be in the car. Don't keep the can inside the car. We've done it.
What do you do if you have an SUV, like a present day SUV?
Well, I have a present day SUV, and if you really want to carry it, you get jerry cans right now, which you can mount on your roof, which you can.
How much do you spend on that?
$2,000, $2,200.
How many times have you used it?
Once.
Including the roof rack.
As in, I've mounted it on the roof rack.
Yeah. So
And it's there. So when we were at Such Pass, we were doing the Such Pass.
I mean, I'm going to say that you are of a bent of mind and privilege that a lot of people aren't.
No, agree. My
So-
car is being built as a traveler.
Yes.
Right? So for a traveler, these things are required. Like today, I might decide to stay back in a place at night. So for that, I will need fuel. So that is my contingency plan. But I'm saying like a regular person who's maybe will go to Leh one time is a different story.
Yeah. Just
So-
buy the expensive jerry cans,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
metal ones with the plastic sealant lid, and then another
Correct.
lid
And
on
a
top.
spout.
Yeah,
So
on top
that's
of
what
it.
I've got, yes. The plastic one.
Yeah.
And it's got a lock on top also, so nobody can steal that thing. And especially if you're going in an SUV, you nowadays get fancy mounts also to put it out. What I'm saying is that if you have the fuel inside, it is going to smell.
I mean, yeah,
Agreement
sometimes
से
you
है
don't
बस.
have a choice.
Sometimes you don't. अरे भाई अगर जीना है या पेट्रोल कैरी करना है तो वो तो अलग चीज हो गया. That's a different thing. But what I'm trying to say is that fuel should be there.
If it's avoidable, yeah, avoid it.
Yes, avoid it. Keep it outside. Keep it if you have an SUV with the jerry can outside, with the spare tire outside. You can also mount it on the spare tire. You get these metal containers, and it's $2,200 really. It's not something which is like you have to spend $10,000 on it or $15,000 on it to just get. No, it's some $2,200. You can do that. That's your lifeline. You know, you go to
How many liters of fuel should
10 liters is
a
more
car
than
guy
enough.
and a bike
Car guy
guy
10 liters. Car guy 10 liters. For sure. Easy.
Yeah.
Bike, maybe,
A car guy, you're saying 10 liters.
yeah, more than enough.
Yeah.
More than enough. You will not,
Wow.
as long as you fill up in Tandi,
So that you're saying you need about 100 kilometers of reserve.
yeah.
Okay. Another question. I have an electric scooter. I want to go to Leh.
Very good. You can.
So, are you saying that there is no vehicle that you cannot go to Leh in?
As in, I'm sorry. I
Are there vehicles that you should go to Leh in? And are there vehicles that you should not go
no,
to Leh?
no, no. Nowadays, there's nothing like that.
Yeah?
No, there's nothing like that. See, there was a time when getting to Leh was a big deal because of bad roads. There was no electricity. There was nothing. You're talking about electric vehicles. Why not? We've taken that Ioniq 5. We discussed it in the past also to Kauvali Gali, where electricity has not reached as yet. So if you have a car which is good enough to do 400 kilometers range, which most electric cars, the long range ones, have. Like if you have a Mercedes Benz, the EQ.
What is this privilege?
Ek minute.
Can
EQ,
we
which is the
come
SUV?
to the mass market little bit?
Yeah, we'll come into the mass market. We'll come to the mass market. The EQ, whatever that SUV.
EQS.
EQS SUV. Yep.
Largest battery like of any car in India right
Manali
now. You
se-
straight went to the flagship of all flagships.
Right. And then on the other end of the spectrum,
Not
even
that.
if you have something like Ioniq 5.
That's a 50 lakh rupee car.
अब भाई तो तुम मतलब क्या रिक्शे में जाओगे क्या वो भी जाएगा एक्चुअली टू बी रियली ऑनेस्ट इफ यू हैव एनफ चार्जिंग पॉइंट्स बट
No.
आई मीन
so say
so the terrain is not a problem.
I have a Tiago EV.
Okay.
I am a normal human being.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. I want to go to Leh.
Yes, you can.
I will.
Yes, you can.
Okay. How?
Simple. Your planning has to be different, right? Again, we're coming back to the same point. Availability of electricity is limited, but it is available now. So, say for example, I'll tell you, say day one, if you get from, when you reach Jispa, basically, see, a lot of people will stop and go, right? Because they are not in a hurry to get wherever. It's the journey.
Okay, we'll get to that. I want to talk about how long your journey to Leh should be
It
because
should
you can
be
do it
one
in
more day. One more day.
That's it?
At the most. At the most.
That's what you recommend.
Yes, I am telling you. अगर 250 किलोमीटर भी जाएगा एक चार्ज पे.
No. In general, I'm saying, should you? I mean, you can do Manali
To
Leh
Leh.
in one day.
Technically, yes.
Do you need to?
No, I would say take more time.
Exactly.
I would say take more.
That's my point.
See,
But we'll come around to that. We'll come around to the route.
yeah.
Before that, I think let's outline what cars, or are we saying that all cars can go to Leh
See, all cars can go to Leh now.
with adequate planning?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just that.
Yeah.
We went to Leh in a Tata Nano.
Okay.
You remember that
Yeah.
time? There was no roads. More planes had no roads.
Yeah.
We were flying across dirt in a Tata Nano.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just planning. And it had the smallest fuel tank, if I'm not mistaken. You had to lift the bonnet to put in like 15 liters of fuel or something like that.
Okay.
We needed to refuel.
Okay.
So we were carrying the jerry cans. So no problem. So it's just planning. Any car right now can get to, or bike can get to Leh. We've ridden to Leh in the weirdest possible vehicles. On the one hand, we've taken big Mercedes SUVs, which are like piece of cake.
So
there.
if you take your car and bike to Leh and get stuck, Rahul Ghosh at intoday.com, you can mail him.
We've gone there on a Tata Nano. We've gone there on a Honda Navi. We've gone in a GLC. We've gone in big SUVs, like I said the first time I went. We've taken sedans. We've taken
What is the most difficult car that you've driven to?
Nano.
Yeah?
Nano.
Why?
We were in the rains.
Yeah.
And at that time, there was so there are two nalas there, Pagal Nala, Khuni Nala. So one over the above. So
Pagal Nala,
and Khuni Nala.
Khuni Nala, Whiskey Nala.
वो सब तो चलता ही
Rum
रहता है.
Nala.
Twing Twing Bridge. So after Patsi, if I'm not mistaken. So
After Singh Bar.
Zing Bar. Okay. So I'm excellent with names, as you know. So I still remember we were coming back. This was Sisu. And the guys at Sisu, there was nothing as of now, as in like, as when you go to Sisu now, it's like a bustling town, hotels everywhere and all that. It was not like that. So
If you go to Sisu, stay in the Doll Hotel.
Okay.
You will never forget that night for the rest of your life. It's called the Doll Museum of Sisu. Stay there.
Okay. So we were coming back, and the guards there said that this car is not going to cross Pagal Nala because a Tata Sumo at that point of time was literally on its side.
Okay, so these nalas are essentially, even though now the road to Leh is really great, these nalas are naturally occurring and they cannot be stopped. They are critical to the functioning of the mountain, so they continue to flow the year round. Now the problem, it's for the most part, it is just a water crossing. The problem is that from the top, from looking at it, you can look at it and it'll be 3 inches, and you can look at it at the same level and it'll be 6 feet deep. This is something, Pagal Nala has a reputation for this because rocks from the underneath flow away. So the depth increases from the visual range that you can see.
And also the burst of water.
Yeah, and that is something that you really need to be prepared for. Always, if you're crossing a Nala alone, make sure you check the depth. Make sure you check the way across before you try to drive across it. Walk across it first. If you can get across, come back.
Or even better, wait for a truck to cross.
Really?
You always get these Indian Oil trucks and the HPCL trucks climbing.
But I feel like trucks tend to move the big stones.
No, that's fine.
And
but no problem नहीं होता. नहीं Didi. I don't think that's a problem.
So you follow the trucks and then follow their path.
Yeah. I don't like go speeding behind a truck. Let it.
No, as in follow the route that they took.
Yes. You'll make it. But just be slow. Like if there is a big boulder under, the surface, it should not hit your sump, right? It should you should say sump. By the way, is the part under your engine.
Interesting mention. Do you think a sump guard is a necessity?
No.
Not anymore.
No, not required. See, that is what you don't need. Like massive modifications to get to Leh anymore.
So your sump in a car or a motorcycle is the part that holds the engine, most of the oil from your gearbox actually. So if you crack it, your gearbox oil leaks out, and that could cause
The end
critical
of journey.
failure.
No, it's the end of journey.
Critical failure. for your car.
Your engine will cease and you're gone.
Yeah.
So just be careful, because if it's a rock jutting out, then you should if you just touch it, because nowadays some are basically very fragile in the sense that the weakest link of the engine is right now the sump. So even if you like scrape it, it's going to be okay. But if you got thud, you're done.
Yeah.
Then you're cracked. You're gone. Your trip is over. So just be careful during this.
So if your car is exceptionally low and you're not used to driving off-road a lot, a sump guard isn't a very big investment. It's something you can look in on Reddit and stuff. They're about $10,000 and most.
But you will not require it.
Just if you,
unless you're driving like a supercar or something super low, like if you're driving like something which is a very very low sedan.
That is true. I think again we're approaching it from a point where we've done it so many times that now we are kind of, it's a little passé for us, but I don't think for everyone who's watching it's the same. I mean, it's a huge journey for some people. They plan it their entire lives.
Exactly my point.
And if you're not confident, a broken sump is a terrible thing.
Oh yeah. That's the saddest.
So
thing
I mean, $10,000. It's really a call on you. This is something that you should know. So we thought we'll include it.
Yeah.
Now, the route.
No, just one more mention about preparation, Dipan, which we must say. Like we said, all your vehicle components should be in very good order, right? Your tires, your clutch, very important. Your brakes. If you think you need to change your tire, especially, or your clutch, do it before you go to Leh. Don't think ये तो 5,000 किलोमीटर है वापस आके change करूँगा. That decision of yours will be the difference between your enjoying the trip and not enjoying the trip. It is better to do it before you leave, right? It is very simple. Your wipers. The one thing
very important.
The one thing which everybody overlooks is the wiper, because it's now what, April? It's 38 degrees outside, right? And you think,
the mountains
Barish,
are calling.
What is Barish? I mean, are you mad? You cross Jispa, it's still 10 degrees in peak afternoon, and in the night it's going to be into minus. If you encounter snowfall, your wiper will be your lifeline. So make sure that your wipers are good.
Anything actually. There's roadworks all the way. Now
and be kind to the BRO guys. They are the superstars of that place. BRO is Border Road Organization, and they are the workers who keep those roads going. Show respect to them, because they are doing a thankless job. Apart from letting you go and do your, holiday, they are ensuring that Leh is connected to the mainland. So give them the respect. Stop, have a chat with them. Maybe if you have chai in your car, stand and have a chai with them. They will feel good. I have done it. And the little smile which they come up with, and they'll say, Julia, and you are gone. And you will probably never see that face in your life, but you will remember that face throughout your life. So do those things. It's actually a nice thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good thing to do.
I mean, it's the whole, this is a part of that whole mountain experience where you meet the nicest people.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout.
Kids.
I mean, there's,
Kids, absolute brilliance they are, and come to think of it, when you see those kids out there, they don't have an iPad, they don't have, satellite television, they don't have video games, they are playing with, marbles and stones, and the smile on their faces. It just makes you so happy. It just makes you so happy. You start feeling privileged that you got so much. You thank God about it. So it's something to really cherish. It's not just the place, but the people also make a lot of difference. So be kind to them. Give them a chocolate. They'll be very happy. And that's something which you should keep in your car also, just to keep you loaded.
So another part of the prep is definitely rations for dry rations for at least 2 days.
And stuff like chocolates, sweets.
Yeah. Protein bars.
Bars.
Things that will have a long shelf
Water,
life.
Water. Most important, water.
Water, in fact, electrolytes. Things that have a high shelf life and are packed with energy. High calorie foods. Always keep in large supply. at least for 2 days. If you happen to snack and decrease it, refill it
You
at
get
the
it
next
everywhere.
stop. No negotiations on that. You never know, because while the mountains, the roads, and thanks to the BRO, we are in a whole lot better of a place than we were maybe 10 years ago or 20 years ago when you last went, because you're old.
What? Who said old?
Even now, it's still a very unpredictable place, and you can have a landslide and you can be stuck for a day.
Easy.
There are places where it takes a day. You might be very lucky to have a BRO, JCB around, or you might have to wait.
But it will be a couple of us any which ways. If a mountain collapses, it's going to take a couple of us. So chill karo, enjoy karo.
Carry the rations.
Don't worry about it. Back off. Don't try to go there and be G.I. Joe. It's not going to help. Just stay next to your car, walk around, take your selfies, take as much. Because it's a point and shoot world, yaar. I mean, whichever part of that road you go, it's point and shoot. You don't need a fancy ass cam to, take good pictures there. Like someone with a Kodak KB10, if you know what that is. Actually, leave a comment below.
Old.
A Kodak KB10. If you have a Kodak KB10, you will get amazing shots. I have.
What is a Kodak KV10?
Kodak KB10 was the real cameras, which was at that point of time.
Rahul, we're really...
So you had these real things, and they would take 36 shots, if I'm not mistaken. And the first time I went to Leh, of course, we had digital cameras, but I wanted to take my shots. And of course, my phone was a Nokia something and hopeless camera. And I bought a KB10 to take shots of Leh.
Oh, those were those use and throw cameras.
Use and throw cameras.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
No, KB10 was not a use and throw. You could change the reel.
Okay.
That is a different thing. That was high tech at that point of time. I bought a KB10. Simple. सस्ता सुंदर टिकाऊ तीनों एक साथ 4 रील के डब्बे लिए थे और KB10 लिया and I went बजक because it was an automatic camera. You didn't need to do all of that to get shots, and you just go click and done. So it was an amazing experience to
An automatic camera, huh?
Yeah, an automatic camera at that point of time.
Can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was.
But anyway, let's circle back from your old age and come back to...
Yeah.
Okay, now I am at Manali.
Yeah.
Okay. Up to Manali, no matter where in the country you're coming from, you'll get there pretty easy. You wanted to talk about people who ship their cars and bikes
Definitely.
to Manali to Leh.
No, shipping is mainly to Leh.
I mean, you could, say...
there too you can ship it to any
What
which
would you
place.
recommend?
Definitely Manali, if not Delhi.
Why Delhi though?
I'll tell you why. Because, see, it's not the people... Chandigarh also. Yes, Chandigarh works. But what I'm saying is like you get more options
To do what?
for transporters.
Okay.
And
to
the
come to
cost is
Delhi.
much lesser.
Yeah.
So if you are shipping your bike or car to Delhi, say from Bangalore, it will be cheaper. So I'll give you the calculation because one of my friends did it. So I had a long discussion with him on an Excel sheet. So we know the cost differences. So he wanted to ship his bike. He was planning to ride an old Java and ESD.
Has to be your friend, no?
Well, yes. An old Java and ESD. So there were 3 friends who were wanting to do that whole circuit with those 2 strokes. And we were calculating, say, what to do and what not to do. And the cost he was getting to Leh was double the cost of what
I think
it
it's
was.
5,000 to Delhi and 15,000 to Leh.
Understand, if you are even putting it on a train, you can put a Bangalore to Delhi train, but there is no train to Leh. So the transporter also is doing a transport to, say, Delhi or Chandigarh, then putting it on a separate individual truck and sending it up to Leh. So your cost is very high. So it is cheaper and better for your health also, because you'll be climbing gradually, that you get your bike in Chandigarh or car in Chandigarh and you drive up. That is the best thing to do as far as cost is concerned and as far as your own well-being is concerned.
Yeah.
Because then you are not flying straight to, say, someone in Bangalore, flying straight to Leh.
Yeah, and a major, I think, change point here is the Devbhoomi highway from Chandigarh to Manali. Chandigarh to Manali used to be, I mean, it was never bad roads. It was just narrow mountain roads, and that meant it took time.
Yes.
Those 300 odd kilometers from Bilaspur to Manali were slow moving at best. Now, thanks to the Devbhoomi highway,
It is fantastic.
you can very comfortably, not breaking the speed limit once, make it from Delhi to Manali in 10 hours. Easy.
Delhi to Kilong, I'll say.
In 10 hours?
No, 10 hours nahi. Matlab, I'm saying add a few more hours. But if you are adventurous enough to have the thought that, okay, let me get to Leh quickly, because Manali and all that, I have seen that. That's your generally weekend travelers and all that. I don't want to, I have no interest in Manali. Manali is just like somewhere I'm passing by. So you can get to Jispa with ease.
Yeah, the reason why I'm choosing Manali as a spot is to break it down from number one, as a traveler to Leh, would you recommend taking the Atal Tunnel?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
Because ek to, yaar,
I
please
wouldn't.
understand.
I wouldn't.
No,
I would say
you're saying you come via Srinagar or
you go to Rohtang.
You go to Rohtang. But Rohtang roads are now in even bad condition.
Yeah.
But Didi, you have to understand, we are talking to people who are going there for the first time. They don't have an...
Yeah, the easy option is always the tunnel. The tunnel is about 50 kilometers from Manali. You cross it. It's the world's longest intermountain tunnel.
It's amazing.
It is magical in the sense that you go in at Manali on the leeward side of the mountain and you come out on the windward side of the mountain. So what happens is
my God.
all the snow that has been trying to get across the mountain to Manali is now caked on this side of the mountain. So it's like coming out in a whole new world.
It's
like very cool experience.
Yeah. It's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay then.
So you get into the chocolate factory and you're like, oh, wow.
It is very much like that, and it really makes the journey accessible,
quick,
easy. If that's not something you're in for, if you're in it for the adventure, if you're slightly daft like your friends here at the podcast, I still advise take Rohtang. It'll be longer, it'll be slower, it'll be more tiring. The roads will be bad, your wrists will hurt. If you're on a motorcycle, your car will be rattling the entire way if you're on a car. But it's I think it is that journey that actually makes it worthwhile. When you, it's the hardships that make traveling to Leh worth it. And I think that is something that you'll get if you take the Rohtang route, even to today, where now this easy road to Atal, it kind of also takes you off your guard for what is to come next.
I wanted to ask you one question.
Yeah.
Since you have been there most recently and it's that road is in the back of my head, I don't need it. Does Google Map work there?
It does. So,
do you have network enough to have Google Maps?
Largely, yes. But
even on More Plains and Pang and all those places?
Largely there are, I mean, what it used to be, where you have left Rohtang and you're not going to be in signal till you get to Leh.
Jispa ke baad kuch nahi tha. Jispa to Leh.
Okay. It is important to know, postpaid only.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Airtel, BSNL are your go-to. Airtel, BSNL and now Jio are your go-tos.
And no prepaid.
Yeah, no prepaid.
If you have a prepaid Jio, if you have a prepaid Airtel, if you have a prepaid Vodafone, well, Vodafone doesn't even have postpaid, so forget about it.
Your Vodafone doesn't ring in the office.
No, I changed to Jio, so I'm not better off, but at least I have the network signals that kuch to hai. But Vodafone, nothing. Whether you have platinum, gold, whatever your titanium you have connection, it's not going to work. Whether postpaid, prepaid. No.
So, but as a rule, I always say when you are in Leh, download offline maps.
Yes.
It will save your life when you don't know you need it. Download the entire region. It's not a lot. I mean,
or even if you once you get there, you know the local connections there work better. Like if
why are you so old?
अरे लोकल कनेक्शन मतलब BSNL का तेरे वो क्या नाम है उसका
कहाँ से मिलेगा ये?
वहाँ पर सिम कार्ड मिलता है ना बाबा.
कहाँ पे?
लेह में.
अरे ले तो पहुंचे पहले.
तो ले तक तो पहुंच ही जाएगा ना तू. ले तक तो पहुंच ही जाएगा. उसके बाद तू जब पैंगोंग जाएगा 3 इडियट का शूट करने, है, या तू कहीं नुब्रा वैली हानले जाएगा तारे देखने, तो उस समय तेरे को लगेगा ना नेटवर्क वहां पर, तो लोकल कनेक्शन इज बेटर.
So you know why it's difficult to get a local connection there?
नो.
So it's difficult to get a local connection there because mandatory, if you have to get a connection there, you have to have a local address because it is a military secure zone.
ओ नहीं यार, ये तो मुझे पता नहीं था. I didn't know that.
I used to have a prepaid connection back in the day.
कुछ पैसे डाल के अच्छा सा कुछ ले ले, इतना पैसा क्यों?
Back in the day.
कुछ अच्छा फोन चलाता है तो कनेक्शन तो ले ले पहले. नहीं, क्या सी बात कर रहा है तू?
So anyway, so I did try this whole I will go out and get a local SIM card. I in fact tried, you know me, I will try everything. I tried buying a SIM card of the driver. He informed me that this is not going to be possible because of the way the military monitors that region.
Full respect, bro. Also, hey, I will want to say this.
Who are you shouting at?
No. The most important thing, if you see an army convoy, slow down.
Overtake it.
Slow down if it's coming towards you. They are the bosses there, and you have to respect it.
That is true, but also they are very respectful themselves.
Yes.
The way they drive, the way they ensure that you are safe, you will naturally, instinctively give them right of way. And of course, they are our armed forces. They're doing what you would not imagine.
You cannot imagine.
Doing at altitudes that you cannot imagine it. Just give them the respect they've earned every time of it.
I remembered something very weird.
What?
Again, Leh. I was driving a SX4. Red Day Himalaya.
I think we've both driven raid in SX4.
Yeah, we've done raid. And that year snowfall happened, something. And we came to Patsyo. This is just to give an idea to you how our armed forces stay there. So Pak Phame was done at Patsyo, the Patsyo army camp, and they were lovely enough.
So 1 second. Again, you give no context.
Please give context.
Raid Himalaya used to be one of our most premier raid events now raid is a long format of rally that takes place over a large number of days where you cross large distances every day. India has 3. Raid was perhaps the biggest, most iconic, goes back in the day to the Himalayan rally with people from around the world. It was a WRC stage, World Rally Championship stage. It was a big deal until very recently when it was discontinued. Both Rahul and I have had the privilege of driving the event as participants. It is transformative, and Vijay, if you're watching, do something, make it come back.
Yeah, I agree with you. Right. So something happened, snowfall वगैरह, which is a common thing. Road got blocked or something like that, and we were in Patsyo. And they opened up the army camps for us, like 2 of those metal, those gold chambers in which, it's like a dormitory with 2 beds, one over the other. And of course, raid had mandates on what you have to have in your car. So sleeping bags and all that were mandatory and all that. But still we got that, because we were the privileged lot, the adventure class. They gave us the dormitories with sleeping bags. ठीक है भाई. तो रात को तो हम लोगों ने पार्क फर्मे में गाड़ी लगा दिया. Park Ferme, by the way, is a parking where once you end of day of race, you park there, you cannot touch the car, you will be disqualified if you go into Park Ferme. To cut a long story short, you are only allowed to go back when the race starts again. Yeah. So at night, it was bone cold, and we were supposed to flag off at some 4 a.m. in the morning. So 3:30 I woke up, and that metal whatever contraption in which we were staying was nice and warm. They were doing whatever, and I had to go to my morning stuff. And I thought, okay, let me first go brush my teeth. So I went, and there was a guard standing there, and I said, मुँह धोने का है किधर? तो like, उधर जाओ, bathroom उधर है. ठीक है, thank you. So I went with my brush and one Colgate whatever. And I was like, this is drum. Okay. There's a tap. That's how it is, because you don't have normal supply of water. So I said, okay, the normal reflex. I opened the tap, nothing. Nothing is there. And I asked the cut, पानी नहीं आ रहा है. He said, वो मग्गे से ऊपर से ले लो. तो ठीक है. So I took the mugga. And I just went like, जैसे होता ना. And it just went खटाक. सब कुछ अंदर चला गया bro. I'm telling you, I did not brush my teeth. I did not do anything. I just went back into the in my room and I just changed it.
That actually reminds me, toilet paper is your best friend.
God. Water was frozen, bro.
Extra rolls. You never know when you're going to need it.
My God.
Toilet paper. Highly underrated part of your lay kit. Carry as many rolls as you can.
Yeah, we are just floating about. We should come back to the route.
So now we have Now the first part of the route, your options are either go to Rohtang and go to Jispa, or you go through the tunnel.
We should look at the broader picture, not instead of doing this.
Skip Sisu altogether.
No. What I am saying is, getting to Leh, you have two options. One is via Srinagar, where you cross over Zojila and come in, and the other is via Manali, where you take the Manali-Leh.
Let's stick to the traditional,
so the route should be
migration route.
Migration route ideally should be you come via Manali and you exit via Srinagar.
Can you tell me one thing, since we are on the subject of migration route? Why did people want to take a bullet to...
Oh, acha. Are you sure we're going to do that?
Quickly?
Okay. Despite of being grossly unreliable, and chances of an old bullet breaking down in those conditions were very high. The fact that it had the torque to pull you and your entire household with you is what got the bullets going.
Yeah.
So those Ladakh carriers, you would have your 2 BHK in that, including your fuel supply.
So here is something that I don't know whether it really
especially the 500s.
Fits into the context of this conversation, but the bullet is perhaps the only long stroke motorcycle to have been sold in India until recently, when you had when you have a longer stroke, you have more amount of torque, which is twist force, which you need when you're climbing things, which is what really made the bullet that iconic.
Hey, I'll give you a visual kind of thing, audible kind of thing when you see one of those bullets going up to Khardungla, na? Yeah, you notice. So there's this guy riding, okay? His 2 BHK is behind on his Ladakh carrier, and he's twisted it, and you will hear the sound. It just goes thak, 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 thak. It's just the torque. It's not the power which he was pulling.
As the stroke of the...
His speed is not much, but you will sound like he's going 3 times the speed of sound. No. It's just going thak, 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 and it's just pulling. It's relentlessly going. That's what it is.
So it makes it very, very comfortable to ride up those steep
You don't
passes.
need to change gears much. You put it on the third and forget
Yes, they are heavy. Yes, they are unreliable. But that kind of torque delivery at low speeds is something
that's what took
not
it out.
get. And that's why I think bullets have become so famous. I think in the context of today, a lot has changed.
Yeah. Today, it's not a big deal.
I wouldn't ride a bullet with a gun to my head.
I would ride a bullet to my... You don't need to... Like, you give me a gun.
Yes, we know. We know you are very passionate.
No, you give me a gun just because when it breaks down, I am somewhere and some animal doesn't come. No, why will I shoot myself? I'll shoot that damn animal which is coming towards me. I mean, there are foxes and leopards and all that. I'll save myself, na baga. And then I'll come back and fix my bullet also. Point ही जाएगा और क्या जाएगा? अभी वैसे point तो है नहीं. और क्या होगा उसको? वो तो point ही जाता था ना. और तो कुछ होता नहीं था उसमें. हाँ, ऑयल निकल जाएगा. एक ऑयल का कैन रखो, डालो, चलते रहो. क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है?
Yeah, that's another thing about the bullets. You could fix them with a hammer, duct tape, and hard-headedness.
No, I'll tell you what you need. One plus, if you know, it's like that clamp thingy. One plier. Okay.
He
that's
spends
desi.
too much time with the mechanic.
एक मिनट. अरे रुको ना. There's that plier. Then there is that. Since you said that, let me say it in the mechanic language.
Allen key.
No, 2 मुंह वाला screwdriver.
Okay.
ठीक है. And you need a 10-11 का wrench. Sum total of your equipment.
10-12.
हाँ. 10 and 11 you need. 11 also you need. 10-11 का wrench. You are done. Half of your bullet can be pulled down and put together with that. And tera. 13. Number 13. That's it. What else do you need? Go. जाओ. क्या fuel injection? कुछ नहीं होने वाला. जाओ. घासलेट डालो उसमें. वो जाएगा. That was the bullet.
Yeah.
People used to really remember वो तांडी के बाद फ्यूल पंप होता नहीं था. Right? What if you fall down, which was a very common thing, and that Gata loop wala section where people would go straight up.
Yeah.
I have seen people losing their jerry cans. अब क्या करोगे तुम? पाचियों में या कहीं से तुम्हें शुद्ध पेट्रोल मिलेगा.
गाटा लूप में सुना है भूत है.
वो ट्रक वाला स्टोरी. भाई साहब मुझे तो अभी तक मिला नहीं है. भगवान करे कभी ना मिले. 20 बार चार्ज.
पानी देते हो उधर?
हाँ?
पानी देते हो उधर?
नहीं.
You've not seen it. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, that left-hand side I have seen.
Yeah.
There's a truck standing and all that.
No, there's nothing standing.
Now they've removed it. What? There was a truck standing for the longest period of time.
No, there was never a truck.
Just,
There was just
when you take that right turn, na?
You're taking that right.
And it's on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's on the left-hand side. There's just a pile of bottles
Yes.
of water. You know what the story is?
अभी तो तुम बुलेट बाबा के पास भी जाके उधर जाके विस्की थोड़ी देगा तुम.
Yeah?
You haven't heard Bullet Baba
Yeah,
story.
I've heard
तो you people क्या चढ़ावा देते हैं वहाँ पर विस्की देते हैं.
अच्छा.
Yeah, haven't you?
No, I
Hilarious
didn't
story.
know.
We'll actually do some, one. Do you want to hear that? Some nice
Bullet folklore.
Why bullet folklore? There are many of these
Automotive
things.
folklore.
Automotive folklore.
Yeah,
We'll do one on
yeah,
that. You want to listen to
that's
that?
damn cool. Yeah,
Tell
let's
us.
do
We'll
that.
tell you all about it across the world. It's damn hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I have never done that. To cut
So
a
it's a fun story. It's not a fun story.
No, it's not a fun story. Hello.
I mean,
That guy never got water.
we don't know if he ever existed.
Well,
Okay, it's a part of the experience. So okay, now you've left Jispa. Now you're moving towards.
I am no Ghostbuster.
You are very scared of us. Yes, I know that for a fact.
So I'm fine with crossing over during daylight, and as night falls across those roads,
I remember
prefer,
you telling me, did he stay in Keelong? What? Why you need to go in the night?
Exactly my point.
I went
Why
in
do you
the
need to? You are the one Ghostbuster, na? Then again.
So anyway, so the story was that his truck broke down, and he was on the side of the road, and he died because he couldn't get water.
That's what.
So it's a fun spot. We'll leave a picture somewhere here.
We have to. I haven't taken a picture. Strangely enough, I have never taken a picture
There
there.
are thousands of them on the internet.
Okay.
You
Gata loop wala.
yeah, and for the sake of the law, you throw a bottle
A
to
bottle
ensure,
of water.
which is why there's a huge
Pile of,
and it's that mysticism of the mountain that really it's that story, it's the passion, it's so many people that you don't know all coming together to believe in one thing together. It's just part of the beauty that is Leh. So now from Jispa, what are my options? Where do I want to head next?
Ideally, my suggestion, straight to Leh.
Okay.
There are many places you can go from there. You can, from Moreh Plains, you can take a right and go towards the lakes, and a lot of places you can go. But my suggestion is not that, simply because you are still acclimatizing. It is better to get to Leh and stay there the night.
Don't you think that it's better to acclimatize along the way? In fact, stop at Sarchu maybe?
Well, yes, that
do
is...
Chandratal that day.
That way, okay.
Stop at Sarchu and then again proceed to Leh so that...
Yeah, sure. So, where are the places to stay after Jispa?
Okay, what is the most offbeat route to Leh?
Offbeat route to Leh? Oh my God. The lakes.
So, that's the normal route?
No, the lakes. When you take a right from...
Chandratal?
No. You take a right from Moreh.
Varila?
And you cut into Chokar. Chokar, Chomoriri, Pangong and Leh.
Oh, okay.
It's
You do
an
the
amazing
long route, okay, after the Moreh
Yeah.
Plains, okay.
It is an amazing route and nobody there.
Yeah.
But not recommended.
Okay.
I would
I would, rather do that on my way back.
On the way back, because you join into Moreh and take a left and come down.
Okay. So, now from Jispa, I move to Sarchu?
Yes.
Okay.
Sarchu comes.
That means you have the Moreh Plains. Okay, the Moreh Plains.
Pang. We must talk about Pang.
Yeah, Pang is a military stop. It's...
No. What are you saying? Those parachute camps.
Yeah.
So you can stay there.
Yeah, but would
We
you?
stayed there.
From Jispa to Pang is not
we got
much.
stuck. That's why we stayed there. But they are wonderful people. If you are really adventurous, they have good toilet services. And there are these huge parachutes which are being used as... they create them up. It's like umbrellas in which locals stay. And they have beds. It's like a dorm. It's very cheap, at least.
You've not been in so long. Oh my God.
No, you will again say I'm old.
Yeah.
Last time I went, it was $50 a bed. So and
old.
Maggie was $20 a packet,
old.
and omelette was $10.
Yeah, they have cement structures now. Okay. So anyway, Pang. Oh, one of the things that you have to know that Rahul will not mention if I held a gun to his head is that you can, once you're past the Atal Tunnel, you don't need permission to camp, which means that you can camp anywhere along the way. You can camp by the riverside at Sisu. You can camp by Chandratal. Be careful.
How?
It's
You don't need any permission.
No.
You can just stop your car.
No, and again I went. We camped by the river in Sisu all night.
But you could have just been lucky.
No.
That
we
nobody
asked.
came and-
We asked at the checkpost before that. We asked everybody around. Between
The Jimny Traveler needs to be readied ASAP.
Yeah, this is like the Himalayan Traveler. It was fully ready. Didn't go anywhere though.
It's already been to such pass. Now
I love
stop.
pushing buttons. This
Yeah.
is what I do.
Right. Where were we?
Camping.
Sarchu.
Camping.
Good idea.
Yeah. If I can get Rahul to camp,
I don't mind camping.
I will change my name.
No, I don't mind camping as long as I have my car with myself now. You know that Jimny front seat? It turns into a 6-feet bed. You guys can have a tambu and I have my car.
Okay.
I'll
Deal.
have my nice sleeping bag inside and all that, and the wolves can pick you up and take dinner, whatever. I am
Deal.
not planning to become dinner at all.
So anyway, there are no rules.
What? Okay, snow leopards. How about that?
If you happen to see a snow leopard and it's the last thing you see before you die, you're extremely lucky. But anyway, you can camp anywhere along the way.
That's really fascinating.
It is something that a lot of people don't know and may not know from beforehand, but it's a great option for people like me who like to spend time outdoors and closer to the wolves and the snow leopards. Otherwise, you can be like Rahul and just find a hotel in Sarchupang.
No, why? I'm
You can
telling
camp
no.
at.
Hello,
You
I'll
can have
still,
a
I'll have
luxury
my car,
camp.
na.
Yeah.
Why do I need you don't need to be like really adventurous. Na? You can be
You know what is
adventurous.
a real dream of mine? So anyway, now we've moved from
Yeah, let's get dreams aside. Huh?
Jispa to the More Plains. Why I brought up camping is because it is a lifelong dream of mine to just spend the night on the More Plains. So again, Intermontane Plain, it's a desert. It's essentially the rift where the Setsi Sea used to be, continental rift and all that. That's how the Himalayas were formed. It is essentially that rift, okay? Which is why it is a plain surface with mountains on all sides, but you are still on the highest point. And
we must put pictures there.
it's
must put
so
pictures.
beautiful. It is, I think, 130 kilometers of straight road.
Straight road. And now tarmac.
Yeah. Great tarmac. Only thing, you will be tempted to speed. You will not have a frame of reference.
Excellent.
Reverse speed breakers are a killer.
Jumps.
A special reverse speed breakers. That's what they call them. That's the purpose.
अरे भाई थोड़ा इतना टेक्निकल मत बन ना.
Bumps क्या होता है?
वो बम्प ही होता है. वो नीचे ऐसे जाता है. वो उड़ते हुए जाएगा तुम.
Yeah.
रिवर्स स्पीड ब्रेकर कब कौन सुना है?
There's a video of a Harley who did not see it. We'll put it on there. It's from social media. We'll try and get a credit. It can be very, very bad. Again, 130 kilometers of straight road, no reference point. The horizon doesn't seem to move. You can go a lot faster than you think you're going. And hitting one of these
Lethal.
can be game over. It can be scary in a car. It can be death on a motorcycle. You do not want that happening. Be on your guard. Because you will be tired by the time you get there. Your cognitive load will be high. You may not be able to realize. You might just want to get to the next place. Don't. Slow down. As Rahul said, take your time in the mountains. Just take in the scenery. Enjoy the ride. Don't try to get there fast. You are going to make a mistake that is going to cost you a lot more than the journey. Agreed?
Totally. Whether you are riding, whatever you are riding, whatever you are driving, you might be driving a very fast motorcycle. All these newfound adventure motorcycles are damn fast, right? You can do 140, 150 kilometers an hour easy. Don't. And You can say as much as you want, I am old. Stick to 60 to 80 kph on that road.
Yeah. No, ideally, yes.
If you need to slow down,
Because
you will be able to.
another thing you need to remember is your motorcycle that's doing 150, 160 probably weighs in excess of 200 kilos, which you've already loaded with yourself, which is another 100-ish kilos, plus your luggage, plus your fuel. So you're almost double the weight of the motorcycle at that point. And the dynamics of double the weight is something that is very, very hard to come to terms with, especially at that altitude. You don't want to be
And
falling
also
off.
your engine is under immense stress because it's not getting the amount of air which it needs to burn. So you are stressing out the engine also.
Yeah.
So don't do it. आराम से जाओ. As I said in one of the old podcasts, यार, इतना प्यारा जगह है वो, उसको blur मत बनाओ. Don't make it a blur. You will remember nothing. Go slow. Take in all of that. Blue skies which you like, you blue का definition समझ में आएगा आपको.
Yeah.
तेज मत चलाओ, वो सब ब्लर हो जाएगा साइड में, कुछ नहीं याद रहेगा. आके दोस्तों को डिंगा मारोगे मैंने तो 150 पे भगा है, और 150 में आपने कितना कुछ मिस कर दिया आपको कुछ आइडिया नहीं. Don't do it.
So true, so true.
It's absolutely wonderful. And given my way, like I've always been there on work, and it's always been my dream to go out unplanned. That's primarily because
By
I know
unplanned,
those,
he means not being told to by his boss, not planning the trip.
yeah, it's like Leh पहुंचना है, maybe the destination is Leh. That's it.
Yeah.
I just want to stop somewhere.
Okay. So from the Moreh Plains, you then have a very short run up to. Okay, a thing we have to talk about is the passes. Now, on your journey to Leh, you're going to hit a number of passes. The altitude is going to get high very fast. Temperatures are going to drop very fast.
And this is evening time.
Throughout,
मतलब नहीं, by the time you are out and you are getting to Leh,
Baralachalar, Lachungla, Kila,
Changla.
Nakila, Changla is the other way. So I think there are 5, if I'm not mistaken, 5 passes that you encounter on your way to Leh. What happens is you ascend very quickly and you descend very quickly. Again, a place where you need to exercise caution. The moment you find yourself ascending, slow down, take it slow, watch the corners. The passes don't have the best, like, mentally constructed routes. So where you might think that the tree line is indicating a left turn, it might be a right. So this is something you need to be aware of. Passes, again, altitude goes up and then down again. So this causes some flux. You might feel a little dizziness. Slow it down. Take your time. Ride as carefully as possible. And you've made it. You're in Leh.
Enjoy.
You've officially been laid.
you're officially been late. And before we get late, let's quickly do a couple of comments.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've started getting comments, and
you guys have been loving what we've been doing and commenting on.
yeah. And we are like
A lot
really
on the
thankful.
stuff that you left me out on, but we'll.
You had
So
not come
they
that
they
day.
didn't let
Okay.
me come on the podcast because it was a Royal Enfield podcast, and they just wanted to be super happy about their Royal Enfields.
No, I complained also.
then-
Hello. So, Didi, let's start with the comments. I think,
Yes, please.
again, I'm really excited because it's about the Royal Enfield podcast. And couple of really interesting ones, huh?
What's the first one?
Okay, let's start reading one by one. Amartya Pandit says, bought my classic 350 in October of 2024. During Vijayadashmi, it's full matte black LED lights, etc. And it is the finest motorcycle I have ever seen.
That is actually very true. You don't look at me with such shock. This new 350cc motor is great. It is reliable. It is refined. It sounds nice. It looks nice. I agree.
And what
Good
a
bike.
wonderful comment to read first, because we just discussed Leh. Get late, bro. हाँ.
Yeah, you
Chalo.
should. Matte black bullet in Leh.
Rahul Samadar 7275 says, bought one, my friend, many something, thanks. I think he's bought a 650.
You've. Oh, wow.
This
Commission?
is the. Only if. Chalo, next. Parth Rohan Singh. Parth. This is Parth. Great podcast, especially the discussion on refinement, which people don't realize has happened extensively.
It really has. It really has. Kudos to Royal Enfield. I mean,
Isn't that fascinating?
I
Dipayan Datta saying good things about Royal Enfield.
What was my favorite motorcycle of last year? I rest my case. It was the Royal Enfield Himalayan.
Okay. Hirak, again Hirak. We know Hirak.
Another Royal Enfield fanboy.
But rides a BMW.
No, he rides a
No,
Himalayan.
Hirak rides a
Himalayan.
sorry,
I met him yesterday.
Parth
on-
rides a
yeah.
BMW. Okay. I love how perfectly it has been explained that each bike has a nature and the character and how it can change the way you ride. Oh, अच्छा, the way I said कि धीरे चलो. अच्छा, चलो कोई तो धीरे सुन रहा है.
Yeah, I saw him ride yesterday. धीरे तो नहीं चल रहा.
नहीं वो तो पहुंचा नहीं है ना, ऊटी पहुंचेगा तब ना धीरे चलाएगा. शहर में किस लिए धीरे चलाएगा वो? तू भी ना मतलब कैसे बात करता है? And also, what about dimensions of the bike? अच्छा.
The dimensions of the classic.
Classic, हाँ. Yeah, of course it's
Is it a longer wheelbase?
yeah.
Okay.
It's a long.
Than the Interceptor. Stability is better.
No, the swing arm difference है. I'll just have to check. I don't remember the numbers very clearly at this point of time. But yeah, and a few more are there, which is
I think on the scrappage.
excellent conversation. This is regarding the scrappage policy. That's interesting. Huh? Somebody said. So this is CGTEKZ, CG Techs.
Oh, hi CG
So,
Techs.
hi CGTech, thanks for the compliment. We really appreciate it. PUC certificate is such a scam. Why do we need PUC on a new BS6 vehicle when it is on the latest emission norms?
So you don't need. For a year, you are exempted from when you buy a car. You have a year for which you are exempted. The understanding is that you service your vehicle in that time, so you don't exceed the norms. But if you don't service it, there is a chance that you might. So the government does it. I mean, nobody likes to do a PUC.
So this was Noob User 312, and let me tell you that that was all about why the scrappage policy seems irrelevant in the form that it's making you do things zabardasti as compared to a voluntary thing.
Yeah.
Similarly, PUC,
Yeah.
it should be a voluntary thing. BS6 vehicle है अगर it's complying to norms, and what you said was right that कि अगर सर्विस नहीं कराते हो या कुछ, but
The assumption is that 1 year out of the factory, your car continues to emit the way it
but
does. It's
considering-
not just from a user point of view. You can also put it on the manufacturer to say that the manufacturer. No, I mean, you could. From a government perspective, you could say that maybe the manufacturer's engine deteriorates over time, and in a year it may not still be BS6 compliant because the compliance happens
but वो
before.
पता कैसे चलेगा? That is what we
That is
discussed
what
about.
the PUC is there for.
But that PUC machine is not registered to take
Yeah, so
BS6.
that is where we
what
need
he's
to
saying is
upgrade.
absolutely
Yeah,
right. Na?
correct.
So we should, you're absolutely right. No user 312. I totally am with you. Stakeholder of whatever scrappage policy and all that.
Nice.
So I guess those were the comments. We would like to hear from you a lot
On
more
everything else.
on
yeah.
everything else which you have to say. Talk to
Do
us
check
about
out our EV
yeah, that's
podcast,
the
the
first one.
pilot podcast. You again shared some incredible insights
Right.
into buying an EV and how to plan to buy an EV and how to get into that mindset. But I think that's it from us for now.
Yep. But we, as I said, we would love to hear what you would like us to talk. Content. What kind of stuff you want to hear? If you're planning something, feel free to come back to us. We are all available on Instagram, on all the social media platforms.
One
Tweet
thing
us.
that is a super hot topic today, do hit us up in comments if you think that will make a difference, is Delhi EV policy that's coming out should have come out around now. We can get back and do another podcast on what the views of that are.
People of Delhi, speak up.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
I
it
think-
from us.
Yes. See you next
Signing
time.
off.
Yeah. Signing off.